Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? So, if there's any noise in the background, I do apologize like I normally do, because being in a new spot, I have less control of my environment, and yeah, that's that. But this week's episode of the Land, uh, what is there to say about this show that I haven't already like said and specified, man? Like they've gone into some great length to make this show really conveying and just overall enjoyable. So if they can keep that up, I don't think there's much that they could do wrong. I don't know what those frames were just there, but okay. Um, but I don't know what they could really do wrong in this show in the grand keeping it, as is and doing things. It's that guy. Whenever he dies, it messes up my game. Like, I don't know. It feels like there's a lot of shows that kind of start to doubt their own, like, progress, I can say. Um, where it comes down to a fact where they're like, oh, well, we done this and this and this, but have we done that too many times? Or should we just jump into this because we've done that and that? Um, wow, this game is really trash in this one depths. Are you kidding me? Holy crap. Um, but yeah, and from what I can tell you guys about this show, in the case of like, is it, why is it so good and why is it so such a high regarded show from multiple people, is because of it feels honest. Like it doesn't feel too far out there in the grand scheme of these characters not being in dire situations or the worst kind of situations every single time we're, introduced to them. Not only do they have to worry about their own and, like just looking at someone the wrong way can get you in a fight with anybody in your army, but then after that you have the fact of everybody's kind of on edge all the time because they never know what's truly going to happen to them. And then once they all of a sudden find out, um, it would be pretty. They'll probably be in the battle, and it's too late to like pull back. Like that's just how their leader is. He'll put them in situations where it feels like they have a chance to, be in a good spot, but come to find out, you're really not, and you're about to straight up die because of the people you're dealing with. And this just is proven more and more when we see all of them are so willing to just fall in line so easily when it comes down to dropping all of their weapons and then marching into enemy's territory where it just takes what, like two, three arrows to, knock out two, three people, so they're literally putting their lives at risk just because their boss said that's what we're doing. And the huge, huge little uh, plot teaser or the little bit of information we get is the main thing I want you to understand, or the main thing you should have listened to in this week's episode, is what he said um, prior to letting his troops like stand down, and before he even said, we're gonna not play along, but he's like, this guy is acting, and we're gonna act with him too, So imagine acting all of that out in the case of telling him, where he's from, like how he came to be who he is, in the case of his mixed blood, and the kid that we see at the very beginning of the show is actually the leader of this mercenary group we've been following all the time, and he looks so much like the main characters, Thorfinn, that it's actually nuts how much of a resemblance he looks like him. So I would truly be interested to hear him in his like last dying words and hear what he has to say to Thorfinn, because I mean, Sure, he didn't have to carry the body of his mother, you know, and try to bury her on her homeland, but his father literally died while standing up in a battle, you know, so if anything, he was definitely probably still a little bit, resentment there, and we all know where that can go. I kind of needed to be picked up, baby girl. We know where resentment goes, and it would be, it would be a crazy bluff if he was lying this whole time, because he outright says that he hates Danes. You know, he absolutely despises them. I mean, since his father wasn't, I mean, his mother was a Dane, I'm pretty sure, or vice versa. One of them was a Dane because he has their blood, but you would think his father has to be the Dane, right? Because he's like he left. God, I should. I'm sorry. I watch so many shows and then I lose these train of thoughts. I apologize for that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes, and it would make sense that his father was the Dane, and after having his mother like in a room for all the time, and not only just in a room, but whatever happened there and there, she then became sick, and once she became sick, he pretty much just like abandoned her. He pretty much just like got rid of her in general. So it doesn't seem like he would have any ill will towards the one side that actually gave him a proper lifestyle, or just tried to give him the best life possible. But from what we can tell, that never happened, right? Like he never really had that great of a life. His mother was always locked up, so he probably never even saw her much. And then when he did see her, he was probably, since he's a well-fought warrior, and you see him as a kid, carrying his mother's corpse where he came from. It just kind of puts into perspective how much he's been through, and what he's seen, and what he's dealt with. So I don't know. It definitely it raises more questions than answers again on, does he have an end game goal to take revenge on them? Does he have some type of way of even, getting even with them already set in motion? And everybody who is on the squad is about to learn just, the dangers of having someone who you trusted so long without really questioning where he's from or why he's doing the things, if he's from somewhere completely different than you. And that's the thing that's crazy about it, is we're actually seeing that questioning and that doubt come from his main guy, the guy who's supposed to kind of just bite down and accept everything, the right hand man who's supposed to just kind of bark the orders and keep things moving. He's the one out of everybody kind of questioning now, like, who is this guy? I didn't know he can speak certain languages. I didn't know this, I didn't know that. And the guy's like, well, why are you sulking about it? I thought you're a grown man. But he's like, I've never known anything about that guy. You know what I mean? Like, every single time something comes up, he surprises me. And I don't think he doesn't mean that in a good way. Like, half the time he's so close to this guy and no one else gets as close as he does. It makes more sense as to why he's never sitting at the campfire, right? Why he's never chilling out with all the guys after a well-fought battle and, beating up on each other, whatever. It makes a lot more sense if he truly hates Danes. Sure, he's using them to his own goals to get wherever he wants and to stay alive, sure. But at the end of the day, you don't need to necessarily love the people you work with to be able to make food, money, and make a name for yourself. So it's getting interesting. I really already like this character in the grand scheme of, after Thorfinn lost his father, and we got to see how he kind of keeps the morality, how he kind of keeps his own self sane, and how he pretty much keeps himself away from the group of people, let them doing what they want, but at the same time, no one ever questions him either. So it's like a very crazy dynamic that he already has with his people and has within the show, and I love to see it all together. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I'm definitely thinking about just how many shows I have and I'm talking about as of lately, and I'm thinking about dumbing it down a little bit because that is a lot for you guys to be watching, or like receiving notifications from your boy. So if you do feel like I am doing a whole lot, you can always tell me, and I'll kind of dumb it down a little bit because this stuff doesn't really hurt me. I mean, I was gonna probably play some of these games anyway, so to be able to talk about some of my favorite shows or favorite moments that just happened in a new show doesn't like this isn't it's nothing that makes me stressed out or I need to put in so much effort into it and stuff like that. I just get to enjoy myself and tell you exactly how I felt from what I saw. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing one. I will be dropping at least Blim today. I'm not sure what else I'll drop for sure. I should drop one more. I'll at least have like 3 videos today. So if you're excited for that, let me know in the comments below and let me know what you're feeling about this show, if you are truly enjoying it or if there's things that you don't like. Did you like that the prince actually voiced himself this week and still got a call to princess, and that even made him more angry? Like even the prince grew on me a little bit, and that's just the nature of how this show tells the story and allows itself to be free and take from the source material and make it great through animation. But with all that being said, I am the Anime G, and peace.